So just recently I came under attack for being so proud of and for wearing a poppy. Someone who just doesn't understand what it means was trying to tell me that it had some kind of weird jingoistic connotations and that my motives for wearing it were questionable.
I was 18 and a half. I was called up. I saw 2 battlefields, one at Passchendaele and one at Pilkem. I shall never forget it as long as I live. The officer was going down the trench. Anybody who didn't go in was shot on sight for cowardice. We went over and we crawled. If you stood up, you were dead. And I came across a Cornishman. He was ripped from his shoulder to his stomach with shrapnel. His inside was out on the ground in a pool of blood. He said, "Shoot me." Before we could draw a revolver to shoot him, he was beyond all human aid. He died.
So let me ask you, how many of us woke up this morning in the stark realisation that today may very well be our last day on earth, that we may never see our family, our friends, our children, our loved ones ever again?
As soon as the bombardment started, the German retaliation came.
How many of us are brave enough to put their lives on the line right now, today, and for other people, for someone else's future?
A number of tanks went in. We could hear them rumbling and rattling.
320 tanks crawling along.
We waited for the signal to move off. Already, everybody was anxious to go, but we waited and waited.
We got no sleep at all that night, owing to the noise of our artillery barrage, which was continuous the whole time.
We was asked to hand over any personal belongings to our company officer, such as photographs and letters that we valued.
I heard soft voices talking to one another quietly, and I wondered how many are going to live to see the sun rise.
In a man's paybook, there was provision for making a valid will if they were going into auction for the first time.
And if I ask you right now to stand at the bottom of a ladder, cold, wet, scared out of your wits, would you climb that ladder facing almost certain death for everything that you hold dear, knowing that you may never see the light of day again? And it's now more than 100 years since our boys came home from France. But not all of them, of course. Many spent their last moments of their childhood, yes, I said childhood, at the end of a bayonet. And not long after the so-called Great War that cost us more than 880,000 men and boys, we had to do it all over again. Back in the day, our men and women didn't moan, they didn't hesitate, they left their families again and fought and died again for us. You see, we're the lucky generations. We never really had to fight a war, and forgetting those that did comes easy if you're that selfish and that way inclined. It's easy to forget the young men who never had a chance to have a girlfriend, let alone children of their own to love and protect, because they died for you and for yours. Heroes one and all, men and women of courage and still and true British determination. Don't dare question my motives for remembering and for being very grateful, for they shall not grow old. And today, again, we need men and women of still courage and determination, not cowards who are scared of standing up for what they believe in because they might lose their Facebook account. I will always be proud to wear the poppy. It honours and remembers those who served and who are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom, our freedom. Don't you ever question our poppy.